Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
To order. There is some public comment. Would you like to come down and give your public comment? John Bohannon, Pleasant Street.
I'd like to give an update on the status of the Catholic Church here in town, St. Edmund's. It's right across the street from the market, more or less, and next to Christ Church. In response to a question at church on Saturday, the local priest said that the building is in the process of being what's called deconsecrated, taking out all of the religious artifacts to include the windows, with the thinking being that whoever donated the money for those windows would like to have them continue in some appropriate purpose. So obviously they'll be replaced. And some all the other religious items, and then it will be put up for sale by the diocese. And it's not under control of anyone local; it's under control of the diocese. And the priest did not know how long this process would take, but it's probably not a speedy process. So I just thought that you should know that in case there's any interest in the building itself, or in case you're asked questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the current status.
Okay.
So my neighbor was curious about why they evicted the resale shop, so presumably that's why.
Yeah, I can't address that.
Yeah.
All I know is what I said, but it's illogical.
Yeah.
It's part of the preparation for selling the
Yeah.
building.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where is the diocese?
Burlington.
So, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the January.
Sixth.
Oh, we still have December 6th meeting.
Second.
Are there any additions or corrections? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We have a whole bunch of bills to pay. We also have this wonderful 2 copies of the operations manual that have come,
Plus the electronic copy.
plus the electronic, which I didn't print
Is that
out.
what was in those boxes?
Yeah,
Over the box.
that box, yeah. So here's all the bills. Now maybe some questions along the way.
In the meantime, these tote bags are for sale at the village market as a fundraiser for the new fire station building. So far, we've raised $2,000 by sale of tote bags. And these were plain. I took them home and added the fire station logo to make them more attractive.
Yeah, they took down a tree at the sewer plant.
They did. Okay, so you got your question answered.
Yeah, that came, that wasn't my question.
Oh.
That's the way it came. You could rip that question. Avoid confusion.
That's a sticky note.
How much did you say?
$25 a bag,
How much did you say we made total?
$2,015.
That's not bad.
We began selling them at the after the village meeting last year. A number of sewers in the village are making them. And they're for sale in the village market. Thank you.
Slowness to the. That's just a question. Where does that come out of? What does it come out of? The casework. Okay. Yeah, just put WWP, WP, whatever project. So he knows.
What else we got?
Well, this is like this. Statement of loan account.
Excuse me, Doug. On the Tate and Howard invoice, we paid that $6,600 already?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I understood the,
Yeah, correct.
okay. Thanks.
Does that require any action?
I think it's just,
A statement?
it's a 1098 form.
Oh,
Telling us how much interest we've paid.
Tax form, not signature.
okay, so this is, wastewater. USDA fiscal year end reports. In accordance with your USDA Rural Development Community Program loan agreement, you are required to submit certain financial information and management reports pertaining to your facility at year's end. Please complete the attached checklist, which outlines the documents and information that we require. So, not sure how much of this, because, I don't know, somebody else will have to look at it. You look at it, tell me what. It wants to know how many sewer users we have, how many hookups we have, I don't know what else. I think we are number one, because we had the 750. Why do they care how many sewer users we have?
I don't know. I'm not gonna have time to read this right now, so
All right.
We're gonna take it, look
take
at it,
it
and report
and
back.
report back, or give it to, Alex if he provides the information. I didn't really have a chance to read it all.
Okay.
Okay, while we're on the sewer, anything else on the sewer project? Besides, we got these lovely O&M. Would anyone like to take one home and read it?
Not I.
We have two. Should we leave
Yeah, I'm
both
not
at the
busy
sewer?
tonight, sure.
Say do it both there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Rob, what you got? Okay. Anything else on the sewer plant? No. Anything on the park?
Nope.
Anything on the, fire station? They're supposed to have a meeting, tomorrow, I think it is. the 21st.
Thursday, I think.
Oh, the 31st, 21st? I thought it was the 21st. Oh, no, that's when I have to get the agenda out. 23rd.
Yeah.
Now, I was told that because. you
Yeah,
heard
I
that
was too.
Because there were 3 trustees there, that it was illegal?
That it was,
Even though it wasn't a trustee meeting?
that if 3 trustees are getting together at a meeting, then it has to be warned as a trustees meeting, apparently.
Oh,
That's true.
even if it's a fire committee meeting?
I don't know if it has to be warned as a trustee meeting, but it has to be warned as.
Well, the
a
fire
meeting.
committee meeting is warned, but it's not warned that there will be 3 trustees there. So it should be trustee fire station committee meeting / fire station?
But then what happens if only 2 trustees happen to show up that night?
Well, then they don't have a quorum of trustees. But I don't understand that.
I don't think a trustee has any authority unless they're in a warned trustee meeting,
Yeah, and they can't spend money.
and they can't
So,
spend money.
what's
So
the
I think
difference?
that might be a misinterpretation
Yeah,
of the.
I think we should check with Jim Condo's Secretary of State and ask him.
It was my understanding that if a quorum of trustees were gathering, that it needed to be warned.
For
So that
any
the
purpose?
So that the public was aware of it, yeah. For any purpose.
Cocktail parties and stuff like that?
It's probably a gray area.
Well,
But,
like the park opening and all those events like that.
I think if it was certain that no village business was gonna be discussed, then you might be okay, but.
It's not on the
and
agenda.
There's risk there might be a discussion that takes place, then
Okay.
the public needs to have the opportunity to be there. That's the point. So I don't think it matters whether it's warned as a committee meeting or a trustee meeting, as long as it's a warned meeting.
It
so
was a
people are
warned
aware of
meeting.
it.
They are warned meetings. The warning goes out and I post it in 2 places. So,
Yeah, they don't always go out.
well, no, I have been doing it. Matt tells me to do it.
Yeah, but I don't think Matt always tells you.
Yeah,
Does he?
well,
Because I don't think the last one had been warned.
it was canceled.
No, the one before that, the last one that was held. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I think it was.
Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah, I believe that there was a posting,
yeah,
at least here, that I saw.
yeah. Okay.
One comment on this operation and maintenance manual. I skimmed through the electronic copy, and one of the things that I saw was that for each piece of equipment or major piece of equipment at the plant, they've included maintenance sort of checklists,
Yeah.
things that should be checked routinely, either weekly, monthly, annually. And I thought it would be worthwhile for somebody to compile those together. Just maybe make so that
They were all in one
so
place?
that there was a regular schedule
Mhm.
of everything that needed to be done on a
Weekly, monthly.
basis, monthly.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
would help the operators. I mean, they're probably capable of doing that on their own, but
Yeah.
there's quite a few pieces of equipment, but it's pretty well clearly laid out
Mhm.
in the maintenance schedule. So
Okay.
I'm not volunteering to do that, but I wanted to throw that out there in case anybody was interested in taking that on.
Well, if it's not a big hurry, I can do that because the park's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't have
You're willing
a
to
big
do that.
project.
I just think it would help ensure that we're staying on top of maintaining that plan, going forward.
So just go through the binder and take out all the pages that say scheduled maintenance? And
Well, I think make a
photocopy them.
list probably.
And then probably compile it so that somebody could say, hey, weekly I need to check, these 10 pieces of equipment, or then monthly I need to do an oil change on this, machine, and essentially lay it out in a schedule.
That's all in the electronic version is complete, right? So I can just refer to that.
Yeah.
What's the timeline for this? How quick do you think it should be done?
Do you operate better under a deadline?
Um,
There's no deadline.
Spring.
It's
Give you
just,
something to do with the winter.
Yeah.
February, March, April.
Yeah, like I said, it's
Okay.
not something that even has to be done, but it's, I thought it might be helpful.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a very big manual.
Big notebook.
Yeah, it could be in a separate notebook. Did you find out anything about the telephone and the,
Well, yeah, I did.
we took out Lingo and then we found that, then the fire
Has nothing to
station-
do with that.
Lingo doesn't have anything to do with that.
No,
Okay.
we have an equipment malfunction
Oh,
here. There's no phone here either. I just checked.
really? It's
There's
not
no-
working?
No phone,
The
no.
internet's down?
The internet's down here. And so I talked to VTEL today. I sort of waited till today until I could, find out where the computer
Yeah.
was and how to get into it, because I thought I might have to be sitting in it when I talked to them. But yeah, they did a remote check, and the little box outside says it's down. So the service tech is coming tomorrow around 10 o'clock,
Oh,
when I can be here to meet him,
Oh.
in case he has to come inside.
oh.
If it's only the box outside, it'll be free to replace it. If there's something inside, we may have to pay
Oh.
a service call and time and materials to fix it. But
Oh,
I said I thought that would be okay because we have to have phone at the fire station,
Yeah.
so.
well, it's the phone. They need the phone and the internet.
Yep. So I didn't realize from what Art had said that there, and I emailed back and forth to Art too, that there was a problem with the phone.
Oh,
I understood that everything except the internet was working, but apparently not.
he didn't say the phone was working?
No, he didn't say the phone was, so I guess he
Maybe
must
he didn't
not
know.
have tried it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody called him. He didn't know?
Right, well, hundreds of people may have been calling to report that house was
Yeah.
on fire. Um,
When did somebody notice that it was down?
Probably last Wednesday when they had the regular meeting here. I got the email, you forwarded it to me on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, I don't remember, over the weekend,
Oh. Huh. Yeah, he didn't mention the phone.
yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it should be taken care of
Oh,
tomorrow.
good, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's nice to have things turn out and work out.
Yeah, but I called just to make sure that it wasn't anything
Uh-huh.
to do with that, because it says right on the bill that
Yeah.
VTEL is paying
Yeah.
our internet, and they said,
Yeah.
oh no, that would have nothing to do with that.
Oh. Huh.
That system wouldn't even know that you changed your long distance carrier.
Huh.
That you got rid of somebody else for long distance. It looks like a hardware malfunction, so. And I found out that there's a designated IT person who takes care of this computer, whose name I've forgotten.
This particular computer?
I guess he's a member of the fire department.
Oh, a member of the fire department. Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Nick, is it Nick?
Nick, yeah,
Nick.
yeah, that's the name.
Yeah.
So,
He's the head
one
of
that-
the fast squad too.
Pardon?
He's the head of the fast squad.
Okay, I knew I should know who he was.
Nick Cushing.
Yeah. Anyway, so Art said if something needed to be done with this, I should talk to him, but I don't think anything's going to be
That's
need
just
to be
because
done.
he's the youngest one.
Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with the computer or the settings in the software or anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I thought it might be, because whenever I do anything in my long distance, my computer goes crazy, but
Well,
not here, they don't think.
okay. Anything else? Anybody have anything else? No? Well, entertain a motion to...
Oh, no,
Oh,
I
wait a
do
minute,
have,
wait.
I do have some extra stuff. A couple of things. First, I was approached by a neighbor saying that it would be nice if the minutes were more complete. That if some of the things I say, such and such was discussed, if I said what was discussed. And I'm perfectly willing to make longer minutes. I've been trying to keep it down to a single page because I was told that was the protocol and that we don't put in much more than we absolutely have to. I just wondered what the sense of the rest of the board was.
Well, of course, there's the legal things you have to put in, but
Right,
if you
beyond
just
that.
beyond that, if you just wanted to, there was a discussion of such and such, and maybe not quoting people, I wouldn't think, but just like it was decided, or
Well, if
that
it was
sense of the
decided, then
meeting.
that's gonna be in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have been the sense was, or the comments were comments
Or an issue was brought up and Ben is going to pursue it
Oh,
with
yeah.
Tate and Howard, or something like that.
Yeah.
And usually there's not space to talk much about more than what we're absolutely
Yeah.
required to do unless,
Well, maybe she doesn't realize some of our meetings are pretty short too.
well,
And there's no real necessity for it to be kept to a page. It's just easier
Yeah.
to have it.
Yeah.
so I just
Photocopied
wondered,
and-
I mean,
I wouldn't feel that you have to be under any compunction to write a novel,
No.
or do. I mean, how much is enough,
yeah, well, that's just
You
it.
know?
Once
It
you
can't
make
be a
it,
transcript of the meeting,
Yeah.
and it becomes difficult to make sure we've got it right if
Mhm.
you're documenting down too much detail, because
If you quote somebody and then they say, that's
Yeah,
not what I
that-
said,
so
that's not what I meant.
I
Well,
think
in-
the minutes you've been doing have been excellent. And
Okay, I'll
they've
just
captured
keep
it.
doing-
But certainly, if there's something more that you're certain about that was discussed that you feel is important to put in there, go for it. But-
It would be of interest to.
well, I tend to be verbose, and so
general-
having that one page target helps me
Yeah.
keep it down.
And often, as I was doing it, to keep it to one page, I would make the margins smaller or make the font a little smaller.
Oh,
or
yeah,
adjust the
I'm
spacing.
doing all those tricks too.
But I think putting in what was important at the meeting, whether it was a motion and a vote as required, you have to give motions made, votes taken.
If
But
there's something
that's-
that was required, I don't cut that out.
Right,
And
right.
Once or twice I've had to go over a page to do that.
Sure.
Well, the last time I had a regular job of taking minutes, it was for company meetings, and the minutes of the weekly meetings would be 15 or 20 pages, and everything had to go in there, and I had to have a tape recorder
Oh my gosh.
and go back through and listen to it. So I'm perfectly happy to do more, not quite that much,
Yeah.
but
No.
more.
No. I don't.
But
I think
if there's
you're a volunteer,
no
and-
feeling that
and you can watch these shows on Channel 10.
if there's no feeling that we need to do more, then I'll
No.
just keep doing pretty much as I have.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can fill in at the post office. And
Yeah.
Meet your neighbor.
The second thing is, I don't know if everybody noticed that the town passed the nuisance ordinance
They did pass it.
back in November, and I didn't see it published anywhere, so I had Chuck send me a copy of it. And for anybody who's interested, I have a copy of the nuisance ordinance.
Oh.
It's,
Thank you.
I got this just after our last meeting, and I haven't had time to go through it in very great detail, but one thing I did notice is that any sort of village control or involvement in the dispute process, the penalty is out. It's all at the town level.
Oh, good.
So we might, I don't know how we feel about that, but, and then some of the other changes that we talked about did get in and some others didn't.
Well, that piece that you just described sounds consistent with the feedback that we've provided to that committee.
You wanted local control.
Well, we did, there was, Matt and I both had said that it would be nice to be, I think Matt said this as well as we did, it would be nice for us to be able to have some input into, to make the process aware of special circumstances that we might know about that the town would not. And so that was one of the things that,
Which we could still do that.
Sure.
If we were aware that it was going on.
if we were aware
Yeah.
that it happened.
I think they.
There's
they
nothing in here
indicated-
that says that
That
we
they
will
have
be,
to
no,
notify us.
no, there's nothing in there about notification that I saw.
But it was
about
my
notification
understanding
of
that
the
the,
village.
that the intent was that, you know, that they would consult. And we offered to, that we said we'd appreciate that and would be willing to be involved in that capacity, but we didn't wanna have the responsibility for hearing the hearings and enforcing.
No,
the
but we
process.
did want to have at least a consulting role or an input role, I thought. Anyway, if it's not in the ordinance, it's very likely not to happen if it doesn't have to. So if we have concerns about that, then,
And we're not an appeal body, which was one of the proposals.
Yeah.
right, right. We're not anything
Okay,
in here, as far as I can tell.
it's just the.
Nor is Bellows Falls, it's all at the town
It's all the
level.
town.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
safety officers are all appointed by the select board. And so we had toyed with maybe somebody, say from the Saxtons River Fire Department, if it was a fire issue, might need to be involved. And anyway, nothing,
Where does
Nothing
it
like
say
that.
about the appointment of the people to the,
safety officers, it's in the
Enforcement?
definitions, I think. It's on page 3, safety officers. Safety officers for the town of Rockingham will include 5 persons appointed by the select board every 3 years. And I know that there was some wording about safety officers for Bellows Falls would include some officials in Bellows Falls. Fire chief, I think.
is this effective? When is this effective?
This was passed in November 19th.
Does that make it effective then? Because have they appointed this board yet?
Not as far as I know. It's effective
Safety
60
officer.
days from November 19th, so yesterday,
Oh,
I guess.
so they will be appointing 5 people.
They will be appointing 5 people, yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Okay.
So anyway, I've been thinking in the back of my mind that I should get a copy of this, but of course I didn't get around to it until too late to do much of anything about it. But
Did you notice anything about agricultural?
oh yes, they put in agricultural. They put my agricultural land in. So something to the effect of cropland or fenced pasture that may cross over from outside the village limits into the village. So I don't know what that does for Bucky's Field across the street from me, in front of the Warner Center, because that doesn't originate outside the village limits. They cut hay on the lawn there in front of the Warner Center.
That can't be developed. There's hay on it?
Well, some years they just mow it, some years somebody cuts and bales hay on it.
Really? No, right at below the...
Right below between the Warner Center buildings and the road, sort of a kitty corner to our lot, yeah. On the side to the
In front,
south.
right in front of the Warner Center.
Yeah,
Where the
Between-
driveway goes up in the middle?
yeah, south of the driveway down to Peter Stickney's house.
Oh, I didn't notice
When
that.
they cut that, and I think the last time I saw hay made on it was maybe 3 years ago.
Did it just get so high that they...
Well, they cut it twice, I think, so
Did
it's
they
gonna,
plant any hay? I mean, did they plant it?
no, it's just tall grass.
Just tall grass?
I mean, that's all hay is
Okay,
tall
okay.
grass, really.
All right. So they're not... Okay.
No, well, that was a way to get somebody to cut it,
Yeah, okay, that's.
pretty much, I think.
It's not a commercial property for that,
No, it's not commercial
Okay.
property for that.
All
It's
right.
been used for that.
all right. Supposed to be left, as is in perpetuity.
Left as is in perpetuity.
I mean, not developed, not built on,
The Warner Center.
the bottom part, the, right next to the road. Supposed to be, but of course other
Well,
things
I
are
don't know,
supposed to be.
I've seen someplace plans for subdividing it down at the town offices, I think, a few
What?
years ago.
For subdividing?
Yeah, for putting building lots on that.
You sure it isn't the, what do you call it, the mill?
No, I'm pretty sure.
They're
And
too
I
s-
had
they're
heard-
too s- They're too small. for-
I had heard that the only reason it wasn't is it couldn't divide it into plots of an acre.
Yeah,
But,
there must be someplace else. You're not thinking about the place on the way to Bellas Falls?
no, I'm thinking about the Warner Center.
Oh, we gotta keep an eye on that. All right, anything else?
Yeah, one other
Oh,
thing.
Wow, you're full of them.
I'm just full of them. So, at the last village meeting,
Yeah,
a motion was made directing us to do something about traffic ordinances.
right,
So I just thought I would bring that up because the village meeting's coming forward, and you were going to contact somebody about
Some-
new
oh.
thing?
no, well, the sheriff's deputy was gonna give us a name of a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have that written down somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking that we should maybe do something about
Yeah.
that since we were directed to.
Yeah. Apparently, they've been getting tickets and getting quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Somebody got a ticket for going 5 miles over the speed limit.
Mm.
A certain school board member from out of town.
And that's one of the benefits of the traffic signs.
Yes.
Of the speed signs.
Yes.
Is that it's clear.
Yes.
And you should know what the
Mm.
speed limit is. This is not.
Coming back to the traffic ordinances, my recollection is that the discussion at the village meeting involved, collecting, in part, involved collecting, the ability to collect some fines.
Yeah.
Yep.
From the tickets that were written. And when the sheriff's
Deputy.
representative was here, I thought he said that he didn't think that you needed to have an ordinance in order to be able to collect, as long as it was getting, assigned to the village. So
That's
another,
where,
another possibility is that we may have found out that we don't need an ordinance in order to be able to collect.
that was why this woman he knew from the sheriff's department
Yeah.
had this information she could give us
Right.
about that.
Well, I think we should find out if that's
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
I agree.
And if
Yeah,
it's not the case, then definitely we should look at an ordinance. If it is the case that we don't need an ordinance to collect the fines, then,
Then we could,
well, we should
check
take
back at that point.
take a look at the motion that was made at the
yeah,
village meeting and
Yeah.
see if we have a loophole there,
yeah,
that we don't need to pass an ordinance if we can
yeah.
accomplish the purpose of it
Right.
in another way.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay? That's all the trouble I have.
So, I haven't read this in full, but I did scan it. This looks like a request from someone at USDA that they need some information reported to them as part of loaning us money. Everything looks like something that we would be able to fill in, except for the single audit requirement, which we already know about. But the rest of this looks like, proof of insurance. They want to know how many people are on the system, that type of thing.
they want the names of the officers and
They want, right,
they want the budget.
right, yeah, which we don't have.
It's a sewer budget.
We don't have the budget yet, so,
We can, last year's, I guess, because
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
1920.
right. Yep,
All right, so,
so I can sit with you and we can sort of figure out how to compile the information that we need.
I can get the budget and the list of officers.
Yep.
This is the envelope that came in.
That's the envelope.
All right, anything else?
No,
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
we'll be adjourned.
Non-debatable. All in favor, aye.